Welcome back to another episode on the Crossbar channel. In today's video, we're talking top 5 European league. We're going to do the fixture, the table, and also we're going to touch on the Euro 2024s. We have games this week. We're going to touch mainly on the big games because I already did a video previously on all the groups and some of the first game. But today, only the big matchups. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's roll. So today we're starting in Spain, where we had the El Clasico over the weekend on Sunday, where FC Barcelona was hosting Real Madrid. Barcelona won 2-1 on a very interesting game. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but it was still an interesting game. Sergio Roberto scored for Barcelona, also Frank Kessié at the 90th minute, and then Araujo scored own goal earlier for Real Madrid. So really, Barcelona scored all 3 goals. And it's kind of been a theme with Real Madrid, having hard time scoring goals. Now, they did score a bunch of goals against Liverpool, but in recent memory, last game against Barcelona, they really didn't have any shot on target. That's not good. And then this time, Barcelona scored all 3 goals. Really, Barcelona players at least scored all 3 goals. But 2-1 FC Barcelona. Barcelona now 12 points clear of Real Madrid. Can Real Madrid push for the title? Honestly, I'm going to say no, due to not just because I don't think Real Madrid can win all the game from now on to the end of the season, but just it's going to be hard for Barcelona to lose that 12-point cushion, especially since they've been knocked out of the Europa League by Man United. So they really only focus on domestic issues right now. So Real Madrid still involved in the Champions League, still have to maneuver with their group of players, with the squad, the league, La Liga, and the Champions League, and it's tough. But again, these big teams are constructing, especially for that. So shouldn't be any excuses. They've done it before, or the teams have done it before. But I just think 12 points for Barcelona to lose 12 points, it's really going to be a super ball drop for Barcelona. So as of now, and you can tell after the game was over, the Barcelona celebration, it really felt like they were pretty much celebrating beating Real Madrid, yes, but also it felt like they were prematurely celebrating La Liga already. Because 12 points, unless something major happened, yeah, they should be celebrating La Liga right now. So Real Madrid, as usual, now is going to focus on the Champions League, which is basically what they do best in the Champions League, because it's a cup setting more than a league. So 2-1 again, Sergio Roberto and Frank Kessié, and Araujo scoring against his own team. We had other league action. Getafe defeating Sevilla 2-0. Osasuna losing at home against Villarreal. Real Sociedad winning home against Elche 2-0. Betis Sevilla defeating Real Mallorca. Atletico Madrid winning 3-0 against Valencia. That was a shocker. Not that Atletico can win a game, but for them to beat someone 3-0, it doesn't occur as that often, especially if that someone is Valencia. But Valencia has been struggling this season, so it's not the old Valencia or Valencia of old. It's new Valencia, and it's pretty much relegation Valencia if they don't pay attention. If they don't get their act together, they're going to end up in the Segunda Division next season. I don't think that will happen. They still have some wiggle room. There's still a bunch of games to play, but as of now, they are in the red zone. Who else? Espanyol Barcelona lost 3-1 to Celta Vigo. Rayo Vallecano and Girona 2-2. Almeria and Cadix 1-1. Real Valladolid lost at home to Athletic Bilbao 3-1. My boy Mikel Vesga scoring on a penalty. That's it for La Liga fixture. Next game in La Liga will be, of course, March 31st, because we have international duty, as I mentioned in the intro. We have Europe 2024 qualifiers. So nobody's going to be playing leagues in the next week or so because of international duty. But when we come back on Friday, March 31st, Real Madrid will play Osasuna, Girona play Espanyol Barcelona, Athletic Bilbao, Getafe, Cadix, Sevilla, Elche, FC Barcelona, Celta Vigo, Almeria, Real Madrid, Real Vallecano. It will be a really good bounce-back game. Villarreal will play Sociedad, Athletic Madrid play Betis Sevilla. Now that's a big game. Atletico Madrid playing Betis Sevilla because the fifth is going to face the third. Yeah, that's it for La Liga. As I said, now we're going to jump right on to the next one, which is going to be the Premier League. So Arsenal defeated 4-1 Crystal Palace over the weekend. Really nice game to see. It was kind of early. I didn't like it because I had to wake up super early because of the time frame I'm in. But nonetheless, it was a great game. Martinelli scoring and Bukayo Saka had a brace. And of course, my boy Granit Xhaka. 4-1 defeat. You can tell Arsenal was in control the whole game. It didn't feel like Crystal Palace was a threat. Just at the beginning, with that, I think it was Wilfried Zaha hit the post early in the game, and then after that, it was all Arsenal. Possession, opportunities, shot on target. They were really on it. And then almost toward the end, Crystal Palace kind of, as you expect, start pushing the pace, but Arsenal was just really clock managing at this particular time. So it was 4-1 for Arsenal. And again, Man City did not play because their game was rescheduled because they had cup duty before. So we're not going to have a full picture of this until Man City and United, who also play at the FA Cup, until they both play. But City is the main competitor. I don't think United can still push for the title. Maybe they can though, but it seems a little far-fetched that they'll be able to push for the title. But as of now, City hasn't played yet, but Arsenal won 4-1. Chelsea also played 2-2 against Everton, the type of game that Chelsea should not be losing, especially with scoring first, Rafa Felix, and then Kai Havertz, and then Doucouré reduced the score. But, conceding a goal at the 89th is typical Chelsea at home this season. Southampton and Tottenham 3-3. Again, Harry Kane scored again. Wolves lost home to Leeds United 4-2. That's a big win for Leeds United, who's been struggling to win games. Also, Brentford 1-1 against Leicester City. Aston Villa defeated Bournemouth 3-0. Liverpool and Fulham was rescheduled. So we're not going to have that result until the game is played. And then on Friday, we had Nottingham Forest losing to Newcastle 2-1. Big game for my boy Alexander Isak, who had a brace. And Newcastle, much needed points. It's been a while since they rack up points. It's that time of the year. It's time to rack up points. They've lost so many points since, let's say, mid to end February. They've been losing points left and right. It's a good way of bouncing back. But yet again, it was Nottingham Forest. But Nottingham has been relatively good this season against big teams, but not this time. All right, next game in the Premier League. We have a big one on April 1st. Yep, it's not an April Fool. On April 1st, we have Manchester City, Liverpool. Big game for the Citizen and the Red side. Also, Arsenal play Leeds United. Crystal Palace play Leicester City, Bournemouth and Fulham. Nottingham Forest, Wolverhampton. Brighton at Brentford. And then, Brighton playing Brentford at home. And then Chelsea facing Aston Villa. And that's it for Saturday and Sunday. West Ham going to face Southampton, Newcastle, and Man United. That's another big one. The third against the fifth. If Newcastle defeat Manchester United, they will have the same number of points, but not just the goal differences. But again, Man United still have basically 2 games in hand on Tottenham. So yeah, that's it for. And then on Monday, we're going to have Everton and Tottenham on that big game. Tottenham need to be careful not to skip up the top 4 because Liverpool is creeping up. As much as Newcastle is creeping down, Liverpool, Brighton, and Brentford kind of creeping up to them. So, which lead the league as follows. Arsenal is still first, 8 point clear of City, and then United, Tottenham, Newcastle, and Liverpool. We're going to jump right up next. We're going to have the Italian Serie A. In the Serie A, Inter Milan lost to Juve in a big game the last Sunday. 1-0. Filip Kostic scored first half, really. Lazio Roma defeated on the derby, defeated the nemesis AS Roma 1-0. Fiorentina won 1-0 to Lecce. Torino lost at home to Napoli. My boy Victor Osimhen has a brace, another one, usual suspect, 2 goals. And Kvaratskhelia also scored, and Tanguy Ndombele. Sampdoria won 3-1 to Hellas Verona. Also, Udinese lost 1-3-1 to AC Milan, even though Big Papi Zlatan Ibrahimovic did score. Salernitana and Bologna 2-2. Monza and Cremonese 1-1. Atalanta Bergamo and Empoli 1-1. Sassuolo 2-1 for Atalanta. Sassuolo 1-1 to La Spezia at home. The next game for the Italian League will be April 1st. Again, Cremonese, Atalanta Bergamo, Inter Milan Fiorentina, Juve, Hellas Verona, Bologna Udinese, Monza Lazio, La Spezia Salernitana, AS Roma and Sampdoria, Napoli and AC Milan. Big game for Milan. Milan need to bounce back. Unfortunately for them, it's going to be the Champions League preview. Napoli against AC Milan. We're going to have a taste of what's to come in the Champions League. It's going to be a good, giant training session. We see Napoli's still first in the league, pretty much already champ. Lazio Roma's second now. Inter Milan third, AC Milan fourth. AS Roma, Atalanta, and Juve are fighting for that spot. That's it for the Italian Serie A. We're going to jump right up on the next league. Germany, where Bayern Munich lost this over the weekend against Bayer Leverkusen 2-1. The boy Ezekiel Palacio scoring a brace, 2 goals and penalties. Joshua Kimmich did score the first goal. It's not really common for Bayern Munich to lose after leading, but did happen. Mainz and Freiburg 1-1. Union Berlin bounced back after the terrible defeat in the Europa League against Union Saint-Galloise. Union Berlin defeated Eintracht Frankfurt 2-0. And Borussia Dortmund obliterated Cologne 6-1. Guerrero, Haller, Marco Reus, Malen, Haller again, and Marco Reus had a brace. Augsburg and Schalke 1-1. Stuttgart lost home to Wolfsburg 1-0. Bochum defeated RB Leipzig 1-0. Leipzig is dropping point where they shouldn't be dropping point. That's not good. That's a bad sign. They need to start fighting back if they're going to make top 4 this season. Because Freiburg and Union Berlin pretty much going to be solid, I think. Offenheimer defeated Hertha Berlin 3-1. And then on Friday we had Mönchengladbach and Werder Bremen 2-2. My boy Marcus Thuram scoring. And 2-2 for them. And then the next game in the Bundesliga, Eintracht hosting Bochum, Schalke, Leverkusen, Leipzig, Mainz, Wolfsburg, Augsburg, Union Berlin, Stuttgart, Freiburg, Hertha Berlin. Bayern Munich facing Borussia Dortmund. That is a big one. The number 1 seed against the second on the table, which we're going to have on Sunday. Cologne against Mönchengladbach and Werder Bremen, Hoffenheim. So the league has followed. Borussia Dortmund is finally top of the league. It's been a while since Bayern Munich. Well, it's been a while since Borussia Dortmund has really been first. It's been forever. Especially this time of year, they're rarely first. Borussia Dortmund is first, 53 points, 1 point clear of Bayern Munich. Union Berlin is slipping up, 5 points now, third. Freiburg is fourth. So RB Leipzig and Eintracht Frankfurt are fighting for that spot for them. And then we're going to jump right into it. Next up is going to be La Ligue 1, where almighty Paris Saint-Germain lost at home to Stade Rennais 2-0. It's been a while since Paris lost at home, especially domestically, especially a 2-0 at home against Stade Rennais. My boy Karl Toko Ekambi scored, and PSG own Kalimundo scored for Stade Rennais. The game was not really... There's a big problem in Paris. Some player looked not so interested. Well, the excuse is going to be, the good reasons really, not necessarily just excuses. The whole defense was experimental. Bichabu, Juan Bernat, and Danilo Pereira as a central defenders. Bernat has never played central defender his whole career. Pairing him with Bichabu and Danilo Pereira, who's not even a proper central defender. So that's the reason why you can say why they conceded 2 goals. But other than that, offensively, they had their weapons. Messi and Mbappe were there. So I can understand why you concede 2 goals, but how come you didn't score 1, 2, or 3? This is the type of game where you know you're not going to have your actual defense. You need to go with the mindset of, we're going to score more than the opponent, as opposed to just trying to concede less. So 2-0 Stade Rennais, big shocker. That game is going to have a lot of repercussion in the Parisian side. But other than that, Olympique Marseille did win away against Reims 2-1. Alexis Sanchez scoring the brace. And my boy Balogun scored for Reims. OGC Nice 1-1 against Lorient. Strasbourg won home against Auxerre 2-0. Troyes and Brest 2-2. Montpellier defeated Clermont-Ferrand 2-1. Ajaccio lost at home against Monaco. And on Saturday, we had Lens defeating Angers 3-1. My boy Lois Openda had a brace. Toulouse lost at home against the LOSC. And then on Friday, we had Nantes and Lyon 1-1. So that's about it. The league tables that follow: PSG still first, 7-point clear on Marseille. There's still a lot of games to go. Now, I don't anticipate Paris to lose a 7-point lead against Marseille, but it is football. Anything can happen, especially with complacency, injury, player now seemingly not getting along, an uncertain future about the coach, the sporting director. Does QSI trying to leave and go buy a club in the Premier League? We hear rumors about Man United. Also, we heard rumors about Tottenham. Are they trying to? Is the project over, or are they going to keep pushing like they did the past 11 years? So a lot of questions. We question of Gatti stay there to the end of the season. We shall see. But as of now, Paris first, Marseille second, Lens third, AS Monaco and Rennes trying to fight for that third spot to get Lens out of the European spot. That's it for all the top 5 domestic league. And then, like I say, next we're going to talk about the Euro 2024 and only the big games that we're going to discuss. So yeah, let's go.